Yep.
Go ahead for Pete.
Hey, Pete, it's Jody Demling. What can you take us through what maybe you want?
Not hear him.
Can you hear me?
Same typing. No.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go.
How'd you get in the? How'd your freaking face get in there though?
I don't know. I just turned it off. I don't know. You did something. You don't want to see me.
I know. You're right.
There we go.
All right. Pete, can you just kind of take us through what were you looking for from Malik in fall camp, and maybe kind of what you got out of it, or what you saw from him?
You know, Malik's always been a great quarterback. We know what he can do with his legs. He's a very, very good thrower. But the thing that I really wanted to see was him getting comfortable making those elite throws that are going to take us, you know, from a good team to a great team. And I think he's getting a lot more comfortable in the pocket and ripping those balls into those tight windows. And I think that is really going to take us, you know, to the next level as an offense.
What did you what do you feel like, I guess, when you talk about those throws? Is there an example maybe from last year what he didn't do, what you want to see him kind of do, or is it just something over the course of games that you need him to take that next step?
You know, I mean, there's a couple times last year where, you know, the guys are covered right there, but you just got to make those throws. And a couple times last year, you know, I'd love for him to make those throws, but he tucks it and gets, you know, 10, 12 yards. But if he does make that throw, it could be a 25-yard gain and saves a hit off him, you know. And just him, you know, we've really tried to limit him running the football in fall camp, obviously. We know what he can do there. But him just getting more comfortable, sitting in the pocket, sliding in the pocket, and keeping his eyes downfield and making those big-time throws that turn into chunk plays, that's what we've really, really worked on this fall camp.
Hey, Pete, Alexis Keeper from the Courier-Journal. Just kind of going back a couple years, when you first met Malik, what were your early impressions of him, and how much did you know about him before you actually got to Louisville?
I knew of him a little bit, you know, once Coach Sack got the job here at Louisville. I started researching the team and everything, and, you know, saw some highlights of him and everything. And obviously my first impression of him was this guy's absolutely electric and, you know, reminded me of Lamar Jackson from afar, you know. And then you get around him and you realize how, you know, how great of a kid he is, and, you know, the type of leader he is and type of person he is. And he's got a great personality that people gravitate towards. And I mean, he's just an absolute treat to coach and be around every day. And I'm very lucky to coach him. And I believe we are very, very lucky to have him as our quarterback.
Kind of piggybacking off.
Go ahead.
Oh, just kind of piggybacking off of that, Lance and Scott have talked about his leadership kind of being the thing to take that next step in. How have you seen even that evolve this fall camp?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think it's evolving. The best example I can give is just him talking to receivers, you know, with how he sees certain things, how he wants a route run, how he thinks they should run a route, get open versus leverage this technique, instead of it coming from Coach Taylor, Coach Satterfield, or myself. It means a lot more coming from him. So he's taking a bigger leadership role in just really the ins and outs of the offense and what he, you know, wants out of certain people, what he expects against certain coverages. And I think that's going to really help us in the pass game this year.
Hey, Pete, Matt McGavick with Sports Illustrated. This is kind of the second offseason in a row where you guys have kind of had to retool the wide receiver room a little bit. How has Malik been building that chemistry and that camaraderie with his pass catchers?
I mean, it really started back in January. I mean, obviously every college in the country throws, you know, routes on air all throughout this, you know, winter, spring, summer. But I think Malik took that next step this year in terms of really being intentional with the routes on there that they do, working specific things every day, not just going out there just to check the box. And, you know, older guys like older transfers like Tyler Hudson and D Wiggins. I mean, and Malik, this is really their last shot, so they really took it upon themselves to get intentional work starting back in January. And I think it showed so far in fall camp and really going to show this season.
Pete, is that something Malik's talked about, and Tyler and those guys have talked about the morning sessions and the weekend sessions and that, and obviously Malik has had that work ethic, but is that something that he would have taken upon himself maybe last year or the year before? I mean, is that a growth where he kind of took it upon himself to kind of get those guys?
It's definitely a growth, I mean, he's always had the work ethic and done the extra stuff, but I think it really took that next step, where instead of just throwing after a lift maybe, and that's it, they throw in the morning and then they watch film together after the lift, so I think it's just the little stuff, like watching film with the wideouts, getting that extra throwing session a week, a little bit more intentional work, a little bit more intentional film study has been very beneficial for Malik and the whole offense.
All right.
Pete,
Good.
one more,
Good.
Marco. I was gonna say, what's, I guess, your relationship like been with Lance and kind of working with him so far since he's got there?
Man, it's been great. It's been great. Obviously, Coach Taylor has a ton of experience in the NFL and at big time Power 5 level, and he's been great. And I think what some of the stuff he's brought with what we've already done on offense is going to mesh very, very well. I mean, I know the wideout room really loves him, and he's been overall great for the entire offense.
Pete, and if I can ask one more, what have you thought of the other guys? Obviously a lot of attention on Malik, and he's your guy, but Scott said the other day he wanted somebody to kind of step up and be the guy behind him. What have you thought of the competition behind him?
Yeah, it was a great quarterback competition for the backup job here this fall camp. Brock Doman and Nathan McElroy and Evan Conley, were really battling it out, and they all did a lot of good stuff. In the end, Brock Doman, he won that competition, and he's been very, very good. He had a great spring, great summer, and he had a great fall camp. And those other guys have too. But Brock's really stepped up. It's his second full year in the offense, and he's a lot more comfortable with it. And he's a guy that we're very excited about.
All right. Thanks, Pete.
Well,
Good. Thanks, guys.
Pete.
Good. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Caleb, it's Jody Dimling. Hope all's well. What for you, I guess, what's the last few weeks been like, and how do you feel like you guys have progressed as an offense?
The last few weeks have been physical, good. We got in a lot of work this fall camp and during this week as well. And the big emphasis on everything was just working on our fundamentals and our technique and getting right to get ready to play Syracuse.
Hey, Caleb, it's Alexis Cuba from the Courier-Journal. Speaking of Syracuse, how much, I mean, obviously you guys will do game prep next week, but how much have you been able to maybe look at maybe last year's game film or just kind of plan for some things so far in terms of, what their defense is going to look like next Saturday?
Yeah, we actually started this week looking at them and the film from last year as we just finished up camp. Well, we go against the defense a little bit, but everything's really been about Syracuse. So we got a feel for what they like to do from the film that we've seen over the last previous years.
Hey, Caleb, Matt McGavick with Sports Illustrated. How has the addition of strength coach Ben Souders kind of impacted that offensive line room for you guys?
He's impacted us in a huge way. Like, we got guys who are bigger, stronger, and faster on the offensive line. He's all about keeping our lower body strong. So we're squatting pretty much every day. And he's been good to us. Like, he's brought us close together, not just as the offensive line, but as a team. And, he's made it fun around here. He made coming in the weight room fun, made it coming in the building fun. So Coach Souders made a huge impact on our lives already.
Caleb, Nick Cardwell mentioned that, I guess it was a few months ago, he kind of asked you because of the different accolades and things that you're getting, are you still a dog, or you gotten too pretty for 'em? How do you maintain that focus and just knowing what you have left to accomplish this season?
Just because like my thought process is just strictly ACC championship. All this, the accolades, all this is a blessing, and I'm so truly grateful for it. But it probably would have hit different a year or two ago to me. But my whole vision and focus on the ACC championship and do what I can to help this team win. That's literally all I think about. Yeah, Carwell will be on my butt about all the accolades, but he knows, everybody knows, like my whole mindset is strictly on the championship.
Caleb, how have you seen a difference in Malik as a not on the field, but as a leader? Because he was kind of reserved before, and when he was younger, he was quiet. How have you seen a difference of him being a leader of this team?
Like you just said, years prior, he's been quiet, and now just listen. When Malik talks, everybody listens because we know Malik is our guy. And I think he's done a very good job in that leadership role over the summer, getting guys to come in every day ready to go. When we go out in practice, he makes sure everybody's ready to go. He's coming to check on us before practice, interrupting our meetings to make sure we're all good, all locked in. So I think just him being more vocal is a huge plus in addition to his game, and it's awesome to see.
What is that competition? How did you guys battle up front? And I know Coach Cardwell and Coach Satterfield the other day said he hopes to play 8 or 9 up front. How was the battle, do you feel like, in fall camp between guys up front, and did you see some guys progress?
Yes, the battle, it was a heated battle all camp. I seen Luke Kandra progress tremendously. Luke is going to be a dog this year and upcoming years for this program. Michael Gonzalez is better and more comfortable, even though he was great as a true freshman last year. Just seeing how more comfortable he is pretty awesome to see. Josh Black is in there battling it out every day. Austin Collins, just seeing those younger guys progress and get better after just a couple years they've been here is very awesome. So it made competition very, very hot in that offensive line room. We still roll out the same guys every day, but we also rotate a lot. So you'll see Luke at right guard at one point or left guard, and you'll see me at center and things like that. So yeah, the battle in the offensive line room is pretty hot. So we just got to see what we're going to go with next week and head into Syracuse.
With so much experience back, how does this line maybe compare to previous lines that you've played on at Louisville?
I don't see a hole in this offensive line at all. I'm very confident in everybody. I'm not worried about anybody not doing their job or know what's going on. I just think we have straight dogs on this offensive line. So I feel like I haven't had that in every position in years past, but now it's exciting because we definitely can be not only the best offensive line in the ACC, but in the whole country.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.